And now, our feature presentation.
Cristiano, you did it again.
Hello and welcome to SubStanceFtbl. My name is Sub, and in this video we're going to be counting down much better. As I was saying, in this video we're going to be counting down Cristiano Ronaldo's top 31 signature colorways. Now this is just purely based on the aesthetics of the boot. I'm not counting performance, responsiveness, innovation, anything like I usually do. This is just purely based on aesthetics. And remember, this is my opinion, so of course it's factual. No, but in all seriousness, this is a subjective opinion, so, you know, feel free to agree, feel free to disagree, but just know that if you really get upset, I'm just here to tell you, I don't care. Now, without further ado, we've got a long list to go through, so starting off at number 31. At number 31, we have the Nike Mercurial Superfly Shuai, which is the second boot that Nike made for Cristiano Ronaldo's special partnership with Japan. Now this was released back in July of 2019, and Cristiano Ronaldo didn't actually get the chance to wear these on the pitch. However, you know, they still were released in limited numbers. At number 30, we had the Nike Mercurial Vapor 9 CR Special Edition, which was released in March of 2013. This boot was inspired by cycling rainbow jersey. At number 29, we had the Nike Mercurial Superfly CR7 Chapter 6 Edición Especial. Now this is just the alternate version of the other Chapter 6 boot, but in my opinion the white on the boot just completely ruins the whole aesthetic of the boot for me, so I'm going to keep it at 29. And also, fun fact, it was the reason why you have the alternate colorway was to celebrate Ronaldo's 154 caps for the Portuguese national team. At number 28, and probably the most controversial placing on this entire list, at number 28, I have the Nike Mercurial Superfly 2 CR7 Safari. Yes, I have Cristiano Ronaldo's first ever signature boot with Nike at 28. Why? Because this boot looks trash. I have never been a fan of this boot, and the alternate colorway you will see later in the list I much prefer, and it all has to do with the aesthetics of the boot. The whole safari with the white and black, it never made sense to me, so that's why I have it such low. So at number 27, of course, I've got the remake of the Safari, which came out in 2020. Now the only difference between this and the Safari is just the way the boots are constructed. The Superfly, the later version, just looks much more conceptually better on the eye than the clunky, plasticky looking first version of the boot. At number 26, we had the Nike Mercurial Superfly 3 CR7. Now with this boot, there's not much. It looks slightly better than the Safari, but you know, I've never been a fan of the whole kind of pinstripey pattern on this boot. Kind of reminds me of like tacky Christmas wrapping paper. Yeah, so that's why it's so low on the list. At number 25, we have the latest CR7 signature colorway, and that is the Nike Mercurial Air Zoom Superfly. The design of the boot is supposed to be inspired by the Portuguese azulejo tiles that you see in the country, so you know, we've got a bit of Portuguese heritage in their design. But in terms of the look, the colorway, I'm not a big fan. This is probably going to be CR7's last signature boot with Nike. It is, in my opinion, and it's going to be worn during his last ever World Cup, so you know, it's a bit poetic. Maybe he wins the World Cup in these boots, and that's why they're going to be remembered, but who knows. In my opinion, they're not great in terms of design. I think the colorway could have been better, but... At number 24, we had the Nike Mercurial Superfly Quinto Triunfo, which celebrates Cristiano Ronaldo winning his 5th Ballon d'Or. Now, in terms of the design of that Superfly edition, you know, it was relatively okay, but for a boot, for a Ballon d'Or winner, it just looks a bit cheap in terms of design. It looks like someone just spray painted the gold onto it, so that's why I never liked this boot. So that's why it's keeping it 24th. This is the lowest ranked of all the Ballon d'Or boots he got as well. So at number 23, we have the Nike Mercurial Superfly Spark Positivity. This is the boot Cristiano Ronaldo wore during the Euros last year. In my opinion, you know, the boot's not great, but it's not bad either. You know, it stands up from the rest, but again, it's just it's meaty. At number 22, we had the Nike Mercurial Superfly Chapter 6 Born Leader. Now these boots were released ahead of the 2018 World Cup and was to celebrate Ronaldo's role as the captain of the Portuguese national team. It also has nods to the history of Portugal's sea exploration in his dye and has the huge C to represent him as a captain, like you have on, captain's armbands. At number 21, Nike Mercurial Superfly CR7 Chapter 4 Forged for Greatness. Now this boot celebrates Ronaldo's change from the iconic 28 shirt he wore to Spurs into the iconic shirt number of the 7 that we associate him with to this day. Now the design of the boot, I would have it higher, but it kind of gives me PTSD from my degree. If you've seen like melting metal or welding or any kind of forging in metal where the metal is like very hot, this is what it reminds me of, and for that reason that's why it's this low in the list. It would be higher if I didn't do my degree, but hey, Oh, another fun fact, this is the boot he wore when Real Madrid beat Juventus 4-1 in the Champions League final in Cardiff in 2017. At number 20, we had the Nike Mercurial Superfly 5 CR7 Chapter 3 Discovery. Now this boot is to celebrate the fateful game that happened on August the 6th in 2003 when Sporting Lisbon played a friendly against Manchester United, which convinced Sir Alex Ferguson at the time to sign Cristiano Ronaldo to the Red Devils. The rest is history. In terms of design, it has a lot of because of the green, you can tell it's inspired a lot by the colours of Sporting Lisbon. At number 19, we had the Nike Mercurial Superfly 5 CR7 Chapter 5 Cut to Brilliance. Now this boot was made to celebrate Cristiano Ronaldo breaking the world record for a transfer fee in 2009 with 80 million from Manchester United to Real Madrid. At number 18, we had the Nike Mercurial CR7 Melhor, I think which translates to greatest in Portuguese, and this was to celebrate Cristiano Ronaldo being crowned as the best player in the world. So it's a bit of a tweak on the boot we just saw with the cut to brilliance, but it's got a few diamond delatings to, because it's a bit more special because he was crowned the best player in the world. Now, 17 down to 1, this is where it got very tricky when I was making this list. But at 17, I've got the Nike Mercurial Superfly 4 Silverware, which of course to celebrate the amount of trophies this guy used to win season after season, whether it's individual or with his team, but the guys are phenomenal. So at number 16, we have the Nike Mercurial Superfly CR7 Chapter 7. Now this boot has loads of nods to Cristiano Ronaldo's career. So you've got the iconic number 7, you've got the heel which is supposed to pay homage to the carbon fiber Nike Mercurial CLs he won the Champions League final in 2008. So loads of little nods here and there, and the boot just looks great. It looks fast. It looks like a speed boot. So yeah, that's why it's got at 16th. At number 15, we have the Nike Mercurial Vapor 9 Special Edition, which was released in January 2013. Now this boot is special for many reasons, and most of all is to commemorate Cristiano Ronaldo's record-breaking 2011-2012 season. And on the side of the boot, it's embroidered with these numbers, which of course have a meaning, and I'm going to read them out to you. So, of course, number 1 is for his first La Liga title. You have 9, which is the amount of goals he scored for the Portugal national team that year. You have 14, which represents the number of caps he got for Portugal that year. You have 19, which represents him being the first ever player to score against all other 19 teams in La Liga that season. You have 27, which is how old he turned in 2013. And then you have 55 in terms of the amount of games he played and in all competitions for club. And then you have 60, which represents the amount of goals he scored for Real Madrid that season as well. At number 14, we have the Nike Mercurial Vapor 8 CR7, which was highly inspired by the clothing line Nike had launched with CR7 at the time. You've got the black, which fades into the pink, which fades into the blue. At number 13, I've got the Nike Mercurial Superfly Victorious. So this boot was made and commemorates a lot of Ronaldo's achievements in the year of 2016. So he won La Liga, he won the Ballon d'Or, and he won the Euros of Portugal. At number 12, I've got the Nike Mercurial Superfly China. Now this boot was meant to commemorate Cristiano Ronaldo's special relationship with China. He actually never got to wear this boot on the field, but he actually went to China and there's a lot of promotional stuff and he was given this boot. Now in terms of the design, this is probably one of the best signature boots just out of any kind of colorway you will see. Personally, one of my favorite Mercurial Vapor just any Mercurial colorways is the Vapor 4, the red and gold, and this reminds me a lot of that boot. You've got the red colorway with the black swoosh, and you've got the cool kind of like gold accents which really bring out the essence of the boot. So one of my favorites, but it's not quite breaching the top 10. At number 11 we have the Nike Mercurial Superfly CR7 Campioche. Now if you were a guessing man, there's no real struggle in guessing what these were made for. Of course, you know, just from the colorway you can see these are inspired by Portugal, and of course they are for when Ronaldo and Portugal won the Euros in 2016. Now we're down to the final 10, and by no means was picking the final 10 easy. Maybe the top 3, because I think the top 3 were always set in my mind even before making this video, but you know, the remaining spots, it was quite hard to pinpoint which position I'd put each boot. But at number 10 I've got the Nike Mercurial Superfly Cristiano. Now this just symbolizes what a signature boot should be. You know, you've got the Cristiano across the boot, and then cleverly Nike replaced the I in his name with a 7 to, you know, CR7. The boot was released to kind of commemorate Cristiano Ronaldo winning Serie A with Juventus, and it has nods to that. So the black and white design is supposed to represent Juventus. I think that's kind of pretty vague, and Juventus is sponsored by Adidas at the time, so don't know about that one. And then you've got the gold trimmings on the sole plate to kind of symbolize the royalty, the championship win for Juventus and CR7. At number 9 I've got the Nike Mercurial Superfly 4 CR7 Chapter 2 Natural Diamond. Now this boot was to commemorate Cristiano Ronaldo moving from the island of Madeira to Lisbon to pursue a professional career in football. Now the whole natural diamond I think is to kind of represent how Ronaldo's a diamond in the rough. You know, Madeira is a very small island, so to find him, a player like of his quality as well, is very rare, just like a diamond. So at number 8 I've got the Nike Mercurial Superfly 3 CR7 Safari Black. Now it's amazing what colorway can do for a boot. I had the other Safari back at 28th, 27th, whatever it was, and I've got this one all the way up in 8th just based on a different set of colors. Now even with this boot, the whole kind of Safari thing kind of makes a bit more sense in that, you know, the print, you know, the spotted print and the black on black, it kind of makes you, it reminds you of like a panther, you know. So yeah, I think it does the job of being a Safari much better as well. Now, fun fact, this is the boot that Ronaldo wore when Real Madrid won the Copa del Rey final in 2011 against Barcelona. At number 7, there's a lot of irony to this one, but at number 7 I've got the Nike Mercurial Superfly 4 Chapter 1 Savage Beauty. Now this boot was meant to commemorate Ronaldo's, you know, starting point. You know, the volcanic kind of fire design that you see covered around the boot is supposed to represent the island of Madeira. At number 6 we've got the Nike Mercurial Superfly 4 CR7 500. Now this boot was released to commemorate Cristiano Ronaldo reaching 500 career goals. The colorway is heavily inspired by the Mercurial Vapor 3 colorway that came out with a similar kind of shimmering silver into the red at the back that you see with the black swoosh. And even that, like I said before earlier in the video, the Vapor 3 and the Superfly 4 are the two best looking Mercurial models in my opinion, and putting them both together you get a perfect kind of combination. At number 5 we've got another Superfly 4, but this time it is the first Superfly 4 in terms of CR7 signature colorways. Now this boot, this looks like something you could wear to the Grammys, the Oscars, the Emmys, the Met Gala, any kind of like high up kind of do. You could wear these. They're black and they've got white swoosh, but the black is covered like in this kind of shimmering silvery texture, which makes the boot just look immaculate. At number 4 we had the Nike Mercurial Vapor 9 Galaxy. Now there's really not much to say when it comes to this boot. This is of course one of the best looking, one of the most unique football boots that you will ever see. Like not just from Nike or CR7, just throughout the history of football boots. And Galaxy, I mean, there's no better way to kind of represent Ronaldo, you know. You've got the whole kind of like space galaxy print across the boot, and it just represents how he's a player from out of this world. Now we're down to the final 3. And like I said earlier, if this is not your top 3, your list is wrong. I'm just going to let you know, your list is wrong. these by, I think, I won't say a distance, but like by some margin, are the best CR7 colorways out there that Nike have ever released. So at number 3, I've got a Nike Mercurial 324 carats gold. Now, this boot is special to me for many reasons. So, and to Ronaldo, of course, you know, he's the kind of topic of the video. So in terms of Ronaldo, the boot is commemorating him becoming Real Madrid's top goal scorer in their history with over 324 goals. He also wore the Vapor 3 colorway, which these are inspired by when he was in his heyday at Man United. And I also have a pair, you know, myself. These are one of my favorite boots in terms of aesthetics. Also, I own the Vapor 3 model when I was a kid as well, so you know, a lot of nostalgia with this boot, and yeah, it's just a sensational looking boot. At number 2, we've got another Vapor 9, and this is the Nike Mercurial Vapor 9 CR7, but this one is a special one. This one he got for a number of reasons. So, winning the Ballon d'Or in 2013, becoming the fastest Real Madrid player to achieve 200 goals, and because he's Cristiano Ronaldo. So yeah, I've got this at number 2. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, if you're still even watching this video. Thank you for watching up to this point, and welcome. You've made it to the end of the journey, and we're here at number 1. Now, 2 and 3, you can decide whether they want to go, I don't know, doesn't matter. But this one, if this is not your number 1 in terms of CR7 signature colorways, something's gone terribly wrong. You know, you need to like maybe reevaluate your lists or whatever, but if this is not your number 1, there's something wrong. At number 1, we had the Nike Mercurial Superfly 4 Rare Gold. Now, to me, this is, in terms of just like signature colorways across like different players or signature boots, whatever, this is number 1. This is unequivocally number 1. You know, the black into the shimmering gold with the glittery kind of texture on the upper. Everything about this boot is incredible. Ronaldo got it for winning his 3rd Ballon d'Or, and Nike released only 333 pairs worldwide. This is one of the rarest football boots in the world, and it epitomizes what a signature football boot should look like. You know, it stands out, it's unique, it represents something, it represents the player very well, and it's, to me, the best signature colorway of any single boot of all time. And that's it for the video, guys. Thank you for watching all the way up to this point, if you're still here, of course. If you thought the video sublime, like the video. If you thought support, still like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Comment down below your favorite CR7 signature colorway. And you know, like I always say at the end of the videos, be sure to follow me on all my socials. I'm on Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And yeah, my name has been Sub. This has been SubStanceFtbl. Thank you for watching. Peace out.